In Wisconsin, the stories start before sunrise. They start in a deer stand, in a duck blind, on the front deck of a bass boat. Welcome to the Flippin' Sticks and Throwin' Lead podcast. With your hosts, Erik Tasker and former Major League pitcher Paul Wagner, this is everything outdoors. Hunting, fishing, conservation. The wins, the misses, and the memories that stick with you for a lifetime. Out here, you earn your stories, and we're here to tell them.
Well, here we go. We're changing things up this week. We're like, you know what? Instead of holding onto the mics, we're just going to do like our wireless mics and be freeform, I guess. It's not even like we have like props or anything, but we're just going to do it a little bit differently this week. And I think it still is going to sound fine. And we're going to just chat about a couple different things. We don't really have a show planned this week. But Erik Tasker, Paul Wagner, this is the Flippin' Sticks and Throwin' Lead podcast. We have been kind of jammed up back to back, week after week for the last 3 weeks now with guests from both from backcountry hunters and anglers. Jared Mills came on. That was 3 weeks ago. And then we had Monster Buck Food Plot Seed last week. And so we were just kind of exchanging some messages with them, kind of getting some things figured out for the upcoming spring planting season. But we definitely are like resetting.
Right.
We're like, all right, thankfully it's just us two knuckleheads. Most of the time it's like, thank God it's not just us two. But, you know, there's so much that goes into getting interviews set up and just kind of putting together an outline and some of that stuff.
Yeah. So I was watching. So as baseball season's coming close, I'm trying to get in shape a little bit. So I'm riding a bike now a lot, and I'm watching a lot of, it looks like the turkey hunts, they'll bring the turkey hunts. They're all 2025 turkey hunts.
Okay.
But they're nice. They're good. I mean, it's exciting and it's fun to watch. But I remember one thing when we were talking with Monster Buck, so many people oversize. Remember they said, when you ask a person or an individual, how big is your food plot? He said like a huge percentage of people always maybe they only have 3 acres and they say 5 acres, or they always say more.
Right.
So what was really interesting is before we were on the app, on Tasker's app, and you can actually take this app and circle the plot or put the thing in it, and it'll tell you how many acres it is. So that's going to be very advantageous. So that way, when we go back to Monster Buck and they send us soil sample tests,
Right.
We'll send them back and we'll figure out exactly how much we really need or how many acres the food plots are. I believe I'm one of the over exaggerators as well. Somebody will say to me, I believe, how many acres of plots do you have? 5 to 6.
38.
Yeah.
I'm actually not 100% sure.
And then it's like, I bet you, I say 5 to 8, I bet you I'm more in the 3 to 5 range.
Right.
So it'd be interesting to see what the numbers and the stats come up on when you put it back into that app. But again, watching and getting ready for turkey hunting, this little break is kind of nice for us, I think.
Yeah.
Because now we can talk about other things like we had mentioned. Opening fishing is starting. People are getting excited about that. Turkey extra tags were just purchased this week. A lot of things that were on the dockets, but we've been kind of missing them just because we've had
other things.
Yeah, we've had other things going.
It's been what a wild 2 weeks for Wisconsin, because we go from 70 degrees and then we have negative 15 degrees and a foot or feet of snow in a couple places. You know, we were lucky here. We were just on the south kind of bend of the storm. So we only got, a handful of inches, but you go anywhere and it looks like there's feet of snow everywhere, even down here, because of the snow drifting.
Yes.
I mean, our driveway, I could see the grass on the side of the house, and in the driveway and in the front sidewalk, we had 2 to 3 foot snow drifts.
Right.
So it was completely barren in some spots. And then in other spots, it was really bad. And then now here again, it's 40 degrees, 45 degrees. So most people are like, well, I mean, what's the point in even shoveling?
Yeah.
We're just so I kept thinking to myself though, we've talked so much the last couple of weeks with a couple different guests about frost seeding and just doing some of that. I realize we're very early for any of that to even be a consideration. But boy, this is the stuff that gets you like kind of in that gray area of thinking, I should probably go out and put something out there. It's the middle of March, even though it's 70 degrees.
Right.
You know, you think that you should start being proactive about some of this stuff, but it's a great time to get out and do like your brush cutting or cleaning out stands or like doing any of that stuff because you're like kind of way after the season. You're like a month out. Okay, so this is good. Sorry for the quick little snafu there. Yeah, and I think that's where it's nice just to know that somebody's like, this is what we're going to do. Please follow our recommendation, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. I mean, that's all. That's all you can ask for, really. So, looking forward to this situation or this relationship that we've kind of kicked up. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be good. But yeah. Other than that, we don't have any guests. Right. But so
it's just us.
It's just us, and
which is fine. It's good. It's actually it is a really nice reset because, you know, for weeks now, it's always been like, all right, we got to make sure that we're set up on time and that we've got to outline. And here we're just going to kind of freeform this and, you know, whatever we want to talk about, we could talk about. And if it's 30 minutes or if it's an hour, then it is what it is. But so we're like kind of in this phase where we've gone from 70 degrees, feet of snow, not just foot of snow, but feet of snow in some parts of Wisconsin. And then now we're back into like 40 and 50 degrees and upwards. And it's kind of getting to be that time where, like, if you weren't excited about turkey season, between turkey tags and bonus tags going on sale this week, the weather hopefully turning and the extended forecast also looking good. I mean, if you're not getting excited for bird hunting.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I mean, exactly.
Don't even go out.
Exactly.
Because now is the time when that excitement starts to build.
And I think that's always in the spring. Obviously, those, you know, our fishers, our fishermen, our fisherwomen, you know, they're excited about open waters now.
Right.
You know, they want to do that. They're looking forward to that. But right now, I think as you take your steps in the process of Wisconsin hunting and outdoors, it's turkey season, and you see a lot of birds now, and I'm noticing them. I'm seeing birds now getting out of their patterns and starting kind of whiskering their way through. They're ready for spring, and I think
the ranch.
And I actually saw a couple fanned out. I mean, I know it's early, but again, with the weather situation and what we had, it was just crazy. What a whirlwind in Wisconsin!
Oh my God!
Feet of snow on Monday. 60 degrees on Thursday. It was just crazy, but the drifts were still there. But like you had talked about earlier, you know, we had some bare spots and then we have drifts, and it was like the wind was so obnoxious,
brutal,
so obnoxious.
Yeah.
So I think going back to that. I think if you're not happy for turkeys, man. I even saw you practicing. I saw you practicing.
I was sitting there.
I saw you scratching.
I grabbed a call from Weathered Oaks Game Calls, which is a buddy of mine and who I believe you've met a couple times at my annual get together that I have. But it sounds so nice. And one of the things, like even when I had my previous one that I was given, and it's super nice because it has my logo on it and everything. The issue that I kept running into was no matter what strikers I used, I felt like I constantly had to be conditioning the call, and it drove me nuts.
Oh,
like I had to have a conditioning stone with me, or like a high grit sandpaper or whatever, like constantly rubbing that.
Yep.
And it drove me nuts. And I'm like, I can't possibly be doing this that wrong,
right?
That this is constantly a problem. I'm like, screw it. I'm getting a new one. I know Matt at Weathered Oaks really well. And so what it is, actually, I should have brought it down. It's a double-sided call.
Slate call.
So backside is slate.
Okay.
The top side is a sandblasted glass.
Oh.
So it never needs to be conditioned.
And which one did you find better for
I
yourself?
like both of them. They definitely sound different.
Do they?
But I'm just most relieved by the fact that I can pull it out and I can scratch it and I can work the call and not have a problem. And I just know it's going to work when I get into that situation. I know that I can putt a little bit on it or do whatever I need to do, and it will work. It's such a relief, like knowing that that's not in the back of my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just one less thing that you don't want to have to worry about. And, I mean, we've talked about your place a couple times. They come from back in the woods. So maybe it does make sense to go sit back in there. And I don't do mouth calls.
Right.
So to be able to have that and not have to worry about it, it's just less that I need to be moving around if I were to go and like sit in the back where I think that they're coming from or whatever. But it's one less hassle. And I'm just so glad to have that.
And that's good because I think when you hunt my property, when they come out of the roost, you need to be vocal. Right. They have to know there's so many options for where they can go. There's so many options. So you have to, if you want to do a crow call or you want to do an owl hoot or you want to do something to get them going, spur them up in the morning, or a coyote, whatever you want to do. But then after a while, you have to get them over there because when they land, when they come out of there, they can go north, south, east, west.
Whatever
they can go
direction.
anywhere they want to go. And if a hen goes off one way and it comes back this way, and this field's taken off or that field, it's almost a crapshoot. It's very, very hard. I found it in an area where the agricultural fields, there's so many different things are moving. It almost seems like things are always moving. So it's hard to pattern them. Not that they're not a patternable bird.
Right.
And so, but one day they could go this way. You could watch them roost and you could think, okay, they're going to come down here, and you watch where they roost. We've watched them. We've actually watched them at night walk in and roost. And then in the morning, they don't even come that way. So you have to be vocal. And as long as that's in the back of your mind, now you can do that. We can scratch and stuff because the ones that we had before didn't really work. They're really nice. Remember somebody gave us a couple calls. Yeah. And those calls were really nice. It was really nice. He actually put my baseball, I think he put my number on there and he put some things on there, but I just can't get it to work. So I've always gone back to that box call. I go back to that box call. So I'm going to have to check into something else because I think definitely we need to be vocal to get these birds.
Wags, that just reminded me you doing the box call. Remember the first time that you were like, oh, buy a turkey tag, come out by me, we'll hunt out here. And you sat with me that first morning and you're like, I'm going to do this, but I don't really know what I'm doing. You're like, burp, burp, burp. And I'm like, well, it sounds like a bird to me.
Little did we know that I was telling them, get the hell out of here.
Go the other way.
Go the other way. We have guns.
Yeah.
Or bows.
Oh man. Yeah. That's so good. But that's what a testament to just what you never know when you go out to hunt, what that memory is going to be.
Right.
Something might happen, or, you might get lucky and you might harvest a bird that day or an animal that day, but it's always those like compounding things of just different times you experience different things and
stories be made every day.
Yeah.
Stories to be made every day. It's really nice.
Or when we had a group of us out there for deer season, everybody comes back and, two guys are dragging and, all that stuff. It's just so much fun. And it's kind of it's the cherry on top for the season. It's just, getting those memories and making those memories with your buddies and with the group of guys that you're hunting with. So I'm looking forward to another year of that.
And that's why I really wanted you to come out. I know that schedules just didn't work, but I really wanted you to come out for the rabbit hunt. Right. The rabbit hunt, again, it doesn't matter what you're doing outdoors, whether you're harvesting or not, or whether you're chasing a bird, a deer, a rabbit, whatever it is. It's always the stories that you have and the camaraderie you have with each other. And that's why I kind of wanted you to get out there, whether we shot some drones or not, whatever you did, whatever we could do.
Well, don't shoot my drone.
Well, shoot drone photos.
Yeah. Okay.
Drone photos. Don't shoot the drone. We'll shoot drone photos. But yeah, it's the outdoors, whether it's hunting, fishing, even hiking or canoeing or kayaking, like you guys kayak. I mean, what are the experiences that you had? Somebody tips over, somebody hits this.
It's usually me tipping over. By the way.
It's so much fun. Outdoors in Wisconsin as a story and a book and a page written and a chapter every day.
Yeah. We're just, and here we are. We're like at the front end of what will be another one of those annual cycles of first it's turkey, then it's fish, then it's, summer, everything that you want to do, fishing, scouting, planning, planting, all of those things. And then into fall where things really, really get exciting. So you said that about shooting a drone. I saw this video the other day. This old man it was a body cam video. And it was this old man. He was like Southern, of course, like somewhere in the Southern states.
Right.
And the cops were questioning him. They were interrogating him. And they're like, sir, did you shoot somebody's drone out of the sky? And he's like, well, yeah, he was flying it over my property and I didn't want that. And they're like, sir, you can't do that. You have to he's like, I don't care. It was over my house and I shot it with my shotgun. So they arrested him for like destroying property or whatever. So caution.
Don't shoot drones.
Don't shoot the drone. Well, as long as it's mine. I mean, if there's other ones that are flying over, you might need to be concerned. But
you did. I remember when we were down in Indy, when we were at the ATA, you set that drone up right out of the parking lot.
Yeah,
incredible. Obviously, I don't have one.
Yeah,
but that's my first really impression. And I know you do stuff with your other business, and you do stuff for advertising and marketing for other individuals. It's just crazy how those things work. And
isn't it amazing?
It is really, really outstanding. When you said, now I want to get a thermal.
Right.
Then I just looked randomly. That's not a cheap bird.
It's not a cheap bird.
That's not a cheap bird.
No. But, hopefully that would, pay dividends over time and that, doing deer recovery or, I even thought about that. Like, how could I use that year round? If I worked with real estate agents, this is just like a random thought of mine. If I worked with real estate agents, agents could include like a lost pet recovery service for their home buyers when they like move into a new neighborhood. Like the first 2 years, if your dog goes missing, I'll call in my thermal drone guy to help you locate your pet. That's like a bonus, like added value kind of a thing.
Interesting.
So there's a lot that you can do with it. But I don't know. It's just like my brain spinning as always of trying to think of different things. And
well, with that being said, let's go back to the turkey. So did you have success? Did you get an extra tag?
I did.
How did you? Let's kind of go over the process.
The nightmare of what getting a tag is. Yes. It's so funny. So we were going back and forth and, everybody that's listening that reached out to me and reminded me to go online at 10 a.m., I thank you. Because you called me the day before, you texted me at like 9:50. I had like 3 other buddies that reached out to me and they're like, don't forget, what week are you going for? And I log in. It finally worked. Mind you, I was at a radio station remote at a bar.
St. Patrick's Day.
Since 6 a.m. on St. Patty's Day. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm bringing my laptop with because I need to have this so that I can do this online purchasing. I was like maybe 6,000 or something like that in the queue once I finally got in. By the time I texted you what number I was and that the number was creeping down, you're like, oh yeah, I already got through. I'm like, you already got through?
So I went to check and it said 9:45 a.m.
Right.
Doesn't start till 10. Get in the queue.
But the waiting room or whatever.
And it'll randomize how you are. And I'm like, I just gotta make sure I do it because all my luck, something's gonna get screwed up, and I'm gonna screw this up. So I went on there and I got it, and it says you don't have to touch it, whatever.
Right.
And I come back, and at 10 a.m. it clicks on, and it goes, "Your number 129."
Wow.
And it says, wait 10 minutes. You get 10 minutes from the time you are said to go.
Right.
Go. You have 10 minutes. And I went, I did it. I thought it was good. And then I put the processing of my credit card, and I'm looking, and this thing is spinning and it's spinning,
Yeah.
and I didn't know. So then I look down, and on the very bottom, it says you have to check this box. It says, I am not a robot.
Okay.
I'm looking, and it's kind of like that faded screen.
Sure.
The faded screen. I'm looking and looking. I go, shh. I don't think I checked the I'm a robot. So I'm looking. I can't see that. I'm like, damn it. I'm going to get screwed here. It ain't going to work. But finally it goes through. It says it was processed. I paid the $10 with the processing fee. I got that next level. Then I tried jumping right back in,
Right.
because I wanted to get another one. We have, a situation where we want to shoot birds, and we want to try to get them on film and show people and kind of expand what we do here on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I jumped back in, and it gave me a big, huge number, like you said, 5,000 or 6,000.
Yeah.
And then I went somewhere, I did something, I came back, it said your time expired. And then on the bottom in red, it said zone 2 all sold out. So I missed my 10-minute window for an additional, I think.
But I think for that, you can only buy one additional tag per day.
Oh, that's what it is.
I think that's what it is.
So maybe they just kicked me out because they knew I already had one. Okay.
Yeah.
And they let me go before because it's still in process.
Right.
So it was processing with I'm not a robot.
Right.
I went for the next one. They probably said, oh, nothing's on record here yet. And then all of a sudden it went through, and then they kicked me out.
Back in. So my experience was very different. I was like 6,000 in line, and then it like slowly started to tick down. I get in. I'm like, okay, I really want this week. I think it was like period D, I think is what I wanted. And I'm looking at it. Okay, everything's all good. Go through the line. I got to I think it was the second to last screen. I put all my payment information in. I put all that in. And then I got that donation button on the bottom. Do you want to donate $2, $5, $10, or no thank you to conservation? I couldn't click any of those buttons, and it wouldn't let me get past that page. So when I click on no thank you or $2, $5, whatever it was, it looked like the button was being clicked, but nothing happened with the page. So I couldn't do anything. And I'm like, okay, well, I've sat here now. I'm the only one left for this broadcast that we're doing out here. I'm kind of done. Like, just sitting here. This is stupid. And then to go back in there and to do that again in the whole line and wait 6,000 hours or 6,000 people.
So you said, screw it.
I said, screw it. So then I actually just got in a truck. I had logged in on my phone. I got in the truck, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to just see if I can get back into the queue. Well, then it's like, the DNR page is not the best. It's not horrible. You can kind of work through it, but doing it on a mobile device is awful. So I'm like, screw it. I'm going to just get home. Whatever's left is left.
Right. So
I get in, and then it was super fast. I mean, because the big rush was over. So I ended up getting, I think not the weekend of Mother's Day and my birthday, but the weekend after. So I think that's E. So I have B and E. Yeah, it's B and E that I have.
Gotcha.
So E is my extra tag, and then B is my regular tag.
And that's good because I got B and D. And zone 2, but I'm assuming zone 2 is all sold out, like it said. Unless I don't even know if F is available.
Yeah.
I can't do F because we're gone. We're on the road.
Yeah.
So I can't do that. So those last two, the D and E was
was
good. I'm glad we have that. Hopefully we can get something, and we're going to bring out some, baseball players too. We're going to let some guys sit out in the
get some guys out there.
Yeah,
we're going to bring the tripod with. We're going to try and record some hunts, and we'll see what happens, but we've got a couple tags now at least.
Yeah.
And I know I've got a buddy, Noah, that I shoot league with, and he just moved. They just moved into a place in Muskego, and he's like, man, I've got a bunch of spots that I want to go. I hope that we'll go chase some birds somewhere. And we both have that E weekend or week, but I think that's the kid's graduation from college.
Oh, that's right. You said
So that might be a problem. But if we do Saturday and then we have Sunday or whatever, I mean, I'm happy to take time off. And like
you get out in the morning.
Said, you get out early. You're out there at 4:30, and then all of a sudden you're out by 8:30.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still make it work. So
we'll have the Muskego area. Mm-hmm. We also have the Richland Center area. Right. So we'll have some video from there, hopefully successes. And we'll have some video from around here. So we should be able to put together some good little things and start this whole. Yeah. We give you some, instead of two, like I said. Yeah. Two idiots sitting on a couch talking, actually doing something out in the field. So that should be pretty good.
That'll be fun. You'd be surprised. I want to just say thank you quick to everybody who's tuned in on YouTube, because I look back and, I was looking at our numbers and just, like engagement and some of that stuff. We've got 10,000 views on our YouTube channel since we launched it 2 months ago.
Oh, wow. Good.
Thank you. That's with like podcast shorts and like just some other like short form reels, and then our actual listens of the podcast. I think our podcast listens were like just under 1,000. And then like 9,000 ish were all the like shorts or clips or different things that we've done. So it's nice to see that. So if you are not subscribing to that page, go find Back 40 Media on YouTube. That's where we post all of our content for everything that we do here. And it's been fun to kind of dabble in YouTube.
And please comment. Yeah. We have those hats we have to get rid of.
Yeah.
I've only got one bald head, so I only need one to cover.
I only have one bald head. There's so many hats you can wear at once.
Yeah, please reach out. We've gotten them. They were given to us, and they were given to hand out. So please just reach out, make a comment. As Tasker had said earlier, make a comment of some sort. Follow us. Subscribe. Do
leave
something and let us. And then we will send it out to you.
There. So I wonder if there's anything that they will do with that kind of interface. I mean, you kind of had a little bit of a wonky situation, but I thought my experience was terrible with it. I mean, it's not bad to wait. It's the same thing with bonus antlerless tags.
Yeah.
I just thought, how crummy that, I waited the 20 minutes to get through the queue, and then all of a sudden I can't click any of these buttons. And what do you do? Yeah. Because you don't want to screw it up and leave and then go back in. And I did eventually do that when I kind of gave up. I'm like, okay, well, this is not working. So I'm going to close, refresh, go back to my cart, try and check out again. And it was totally down. It was a nightmare.
Well, you can only imagine, like you said, if you're at 6,000, just think how many people are hitting this thing. Mm-hmm. And I think, if I'm wrong, correct me, but I think I'm going to make up numbers that are pretty close. D had maybe 1,700 extra tags.
Okay.
E might have had 3,500, 2,500, and the last season might have had 20. It was very limited, but when you're looking at the queue and you're seeing 6,000 people trying to, it's going to crash.
3,000 tags.
It's pretty much going to crash any site. So again, I was lucky enough to get in there early. If you follow the script or you follow it, the protocol, I think it just stalls down when there's so much heat on the program.
Well, and you think how busy and how active is the Wisconsin DNR website on any given day. And then all of a sudden there's 10,000 people on the site trying to get in or trying to buy tags or whatever it might be. So
and zone 2. And zone 2 is the toughest.
Half
zone 2
of the state.
I bet you. Yeah. They crashed on zone 2. Tuesday was a bad day for them, but I think Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even today, Friday, they could probably run through it pretty good. And I don't know if today is a different zone or is today all extra tags available.
I don't know that. But
Either way, zone 2 is the one that gets hit.
Yeah.
It gets hit hard.
Yeah. Well, and you just think about it. I can't remember. I think we talked about this like a couple years ago, but zone 2 is like Madison East. Yeah. It's like the whole half of the state. It's so crazy how much area that actually covers. And I think that's based on bird population, not human population, obviously, because
Right,
otherwise,
right,
how would we
right.
include Racine, Milwaukee,
Right.
Fox Valley, and Green Bay? I think that we just have fewer birds here, that territory is so big, but then, it kind of gets pieced out with whatever the 6 or 7 zones that we have across the state that are much smaller and more condensed because of whatever reason.
And I think they redistricted it. I think they did this a few years ago because they also did it with bear hunting too, I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I remember there's a deer, obviously zone A, B, and C.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it used to be A, B, and C, and then C would always alternate with, starting the bear season with dogs, and then the next year it would be bait only. But I do know that at least at that time, you could in that zone you could start training dogs to chase bear. I believe it was the 4th of July weekend after that, but then that ended up pulling back. But again, I know that there was just redistricting or for something, rezoning. Right. And I thought turkey and bear were both included.
Yeah.
So maybe wrong.
Yeah. But it's nice to have that behind us. And I do have to give credit to the DNR though, because, we get so many emails from them. I'm sure you get them too, but anybody that has an account with the Go Wild, that they're probably part of the email newsletter, but as early as like a week in advance of the ticket or the tags going on sale, the bonus tags going on sale, they were actually sending out reminders like, make sure you have your user ID and password ready. Bonus tags go on sale next week. Here's the schedule. Here's what's available. Here's the process and all of that. It's nice that they're proactive and also very engaged with kind of some of these programs that they have, and that they're trying to, do their best to make it well known that these things are available and plan for it.
Right.
Be ready when the time comes.
Right.
And
speaking of DNR coming out, again, check me on this. I don't have it in front of me because we were kind of just shooting from the hip here, but I do believe all of our licenses expire March 31st.
Yes.
And that's boating.
Yeah.
That's ATV.
Yep.
That's UTV. I even think that includes snowmobiles.
Interesting.
I think it does. So remember that March 31st date too. Obviously your renewals will come. DNR always checks in with you. But again, and you got to get your insurances and stuff like that. So what I did actually with the jet skis is I actually put them away and I canceled the insurance for that time period. And then when we get them on, and obviously everybody's so busy now, we don't get to use them with baseball and stuff. So whether I do that too, but I'll get the licenses, but kick on insurance only when we use it. But again, that's a date that you should look into if March 31st affects you in any way of your recreational vehicles.
I think that's always the rollover, because then you start getting into some of that open water stuff. And I have to say, boy, driving past Silver Lake all the time, from like the beginning of March, where we were starting to get, some of those warmer days and some of that stuff. I mean, it was still below freezing, so the ice wasn't going anywhere. But boy, you talk about that March 10th to March 17th window.
Oh yeah.
The ice vanished.
Yes.
I mean, I saw people on their boats on the open water already.
Yes.
And not necessarily just on Silver, but some of the other ones, Nabobin is over there, and just some of those that I'm like, I cannot believe how fast that ice disappeared. But a 70 degree, but we had like a 50, a 60, and then a 70 degree
we
day
did have
with
some
bright sun.
Yes.
And even just yesterday when it was 40 degrees, I let the dogs out and I'm standing out there with them. If you're getting beat by the sun, it feels warm.
Yeah.
I mean, you can feel the sun kind of coming through. So getting that on the ice for a couple days when it's 70 degrees, it doesn't take long. So, kind of that catalyst for here comes spring, baby.
Yeah. So when I did it, I went out there, and that storm that came through, it hit the state good. A lot of wind, a lot of heavy. Remember, it started with rain, which froze. So a lot of branches went down.
Yeah.
So yesterday it was really nice out, especially where the sun was. I took care of the ones right around by the driveway and up by the barn.
Sure.
And going in on the other side by the house, but I'm just afraid to go in the back. I know some things went down. I had a big branch is laying out in the orchard.
Okay.
So I know that something went down there. And unfortunately, I was looking, and I think my apple trees are getting old, and I don't know how they age and how they produce, but this one was an older one. Didn't produce many apples last year. And this one got a big chunk taken over. So I'm assuming it's dead. It's hollowed out. But again, a lot of cleanup now too. With that storm, those storms that come, and it kind of teased it. I was talking to one gentleman, and he said before that the snowstorm came, the tulips were coming up. He actually showed me pictures, and they were up about 3 to 5 inches. But he said, they're durable. I said, well, what's going to happen? Do you cover them? I didn't know. I didn't know it's like a garden or something like that. But he said, no. He says they're pretty durable. They'll take the beating and then they'll come right back. But that it got a tease but I'm kind of anxious to kind of see, not anxious, but tentative. But I have to go out there and check and see what kind of damage was done with this rain in this past storm.
Yeah, because I was just looking at the long-term forecast, and of course, there's like a million ads here. Yeah, I mean we're. FYI, it's going to be 72 degrees tomorrow.
Wow.
57 today, 72. Oh, it was 54 yesterday. Okay, so that makes sense why it was as nice as it was. But yeah, I mean we've got a couple more nights in the mid 20s, and then we'll be in the 30s for lows overnight, and 50s, 60s. I mean, come that second week, we might get some rain and some of that stuff, but 60-degree weather and 40, 45-degree lows, I'll take that for turkey season.
Yeah. So we know there's going to be no snow.
Yeah.
There's going to be very minimal frost. I'm curious to see what the frost level's at.
Yeah.
But again, remember when we had that warm spell and we had Jared on, and I had half a bag of clover. I couldn't help myself, but I went out there.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I frost seeded a little bit, but it was a seed that we don't really care if it didn't work. I believe I just had a half a bag, and I'm like, man, it's so nice.
We'll toss it out there and see what happens.
So now with this other bag I have, there's another bag of stuff I found. I will follow that 3-week. You said May
13th.
May 13th. So
it was.
And the middle of April, I will probably go out there and do it again and see what happens.
We can get fooled so easily because for weeks now, Fleet Farm has been running the special on the 4-season package of fertilizer, like your lawn treatment packages, where they've got like the all season, spring, early summer, fall, winter, like whatever that is. I'm like, 3 weeks ago, I was ready to buy it. I'm like, I'm ready to get rid of this white stuff. I want green again.
Right.
And I haven't bought it yet, but it's there, and I think about it every day. That I'm ready to get into the swing of winter's over. I mean, I'm over this.
Yeah.
And I think you saw it. I posted a video as I was leaving league on Monday night. I'm like, man, if this was October.
Oh,
your mindset, you're going from like 60, 70 degrees and it's September and you get this huge cold spell come through. You're like, I'm sitting in a tree stand.
Yes.
I mean, I'm getting out there no matter what I have planned tomorrow. I'm sitting in the morning.
Yeah.
Because this cold and the wind and just everything approaching. I don't know what that was. It's like, what else do you do besides think about that? Right. I mean, that's what we live for in fall. So
I did to do it. So I'll run into our local stores, the Cabela's, our Bass Pro Shops. I'll run in there, and it's funny how you can just see how everybody's either in the fishing section right now, or turkeys. And they give the calls. There's a couple slates and somebody. So you can hear it. And then when the waterfowl season picked up earlier, then everybody was already blowing duck and goose calls, and they're picking up their racks of goose decoys and seeing what they liked. And some of them monster decoys. I remember out there when we were there, they had some goose decoys that were damn near the size of me. They were big. I'm like, man, if I'm flying over, I guess if you're trying to get their attention, you're getting their attention. But when I was there yesterday or the other day, it was a lot. Everybody in that turkey section, they were going through, and the guy actually went back and picked up about a stack of maybe 2 boxes, and those boxes were probably about 3-4 inches high.
Sure.
And they were all turkey targets.
Yeah.
And they were buying those up. So I know that a lot of guys went through the turkey loads. The turkey load section was taken. And then you go on the other side, and guys are looking at their fishing. They're redoing whether they're doing their tackle boxes and stuff. Yeah, it's exciting times. And we've always talked about this.
Tax return season, so people are like,
I got some money.
Extra bucks. I might as well. I've really wanted a new tackle box, or I got to buy, a couple bags of lures and whatever it is, soft plastics, whatever.
Right. Do I want to spend this money on things that I really need, or hunting, fishing, and outdoors? Outdoors fishing.
I'll just keep taking the interest rate on the credit card. I'll worry about that later. So I don't know. I mean, it's that time where I love summer here. I mean, we don't get a super long summer, but we have these 2 pivotal seasons in the state where it's fall when things are starting to kind of turn towards cold. And now when everything is starting to like come back alive and starting to green up,
right,
and the gray, ugly, slushy, swampy, whatever is starting to kind of fade away, and the ground is starting to dry out, soften up, all those things. It's such a great time. And it's like, it feels like it comes and goes in no time.
Right.
But we're in it right now. So we're kind of just enjoying it and
right,
kind of thinking about all the things that we need to do this year.
Right.
But it's exciting. Here we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So next week, you were talking about turkey targets. Next week, I think we don't have any guests slated as of right now. So I think we'll try and get back out by your place next week.
Okay.
Because I got to shoot my shotgun with turkey loads in it and just shoot against a target.
Yeah, let's do that.
If you don't have targets, I'll grab a couple from Fleet Farm.
I didn't, but I will check. But yeah, grab a couple.
And then we can just shoot a couple times and just make sure that we're all good. Because I really just want to know, I'm confident in the fact that at 40 yards, I'm either shooting right on or I think it sprays a little high or whatever that is. I mean, now's the time to kind of make sure that everything is good to go. You're, shooting out where your animals are living. You try and be smart about that. And you're obviously not going to just do it and then go hunt.
Right.
So,
we definitely have to do that.
We can do that.
Yeah, let's do that because I got from my buddy or those guys over at the gunsmithing shop, they put on a vortex. I got a red dot on one of mine. And I've always shot with iron sights or that little True Globe, that little bead. I've always had that on there. So this time they put it on there and it's very simple. Push a button. Obviously I see it. I want to see how that plays.
Right.
And it might take us a little bit of time. And then
it doesn't hurt to do that.
Correct.
What's the harm in that?
But I'm going to use it like I do the rifle. I'm going to put it in I'm not going to hold it. I'm actually going to put it in so it's stable.
Sure.
I'd much rather know that the gun is on target.
Right.
And then it's just me missing, pulling left. And I have a tendency to pull left. Okay. I do it all the time. That's why whenever whenever I trap shoot, I can never hit that. I always miss that right bird. Yeah. That clay bird goes out to the right. I'll go boom, 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 boom. Oh, mess. Boom, boom, boom. And then if you throw the randoms in, it's like, I'm always like this, please, no rights. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Paul, you're pretty good. No, I'm not really good. Boom, boom, boom. Miss.
Yeah.
You're shooting over, you're shooting under, you're pulling left. And I was, I think I want to see how this red dot works. And then I can see it. I can always go back to the regular irons. But it'd be good. Be good up there.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. But we're getting ready to ramp up. I mean, I don't know. It's exciting thinking about it. And, if we're 3 weeks away or if we're 4 weeks away from seasons opening up, it's going to be here before we know it. I mean, I think we're like 4 weeks out, 3.5 weeks out because they start on Wednesdays. Because April 10th is a date that I have in my mind that I know is 3 weeks from today.
Gotcha.
So
Make sure you bring your mud boots out, because then when we're done shooting, let's just walk around and just see what damage is done out there.
Yep.
Obviously, we always talk about safety. We have a couple guests that we met at the ATA show that are going to come on, and they strictly are very, very safety oriented with everything involved with hunting. So we're going to have them on come that time. But this may be the time where I trim that branch down and we put up that one stand for target shooting and just check and just get a little walk around early. Obviously, time goes so fast, and all of a sudden it's baseball, and I'm gone. And I'm gone, and next thing I do, I come back and it's green everywhere, and I miss that opportunity to try to clean up a little bit. So I think maybe if it's not too bad and nice, we can shoot, spend a little time. Unless you're rushed, unless you got to get to work or I got something else, maybe we can spend some time just go for a little walk.
It even says, so next week looks like it should be about 40 degrees, no rain. I mean, rain the day before, but I think we'll be able to figure something out. So that'll be good just to get out there and do some of that. So
good.
All right. Well, I don't know. What do you say we wrap it up? We'll shout out our sponsors quick, and unless there's something else you got, but I don't even know how long. It's like time just kind of flies by when we do this.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we're an hour and a half into it.
This is the one time I wish we could talk for 3 hours. So I'm just going to, nobody really cares, but I'll let you know. I go in for the oil change, and I go in for my oil change and tire rotation. And then he goes to me, he goes, Paul, how long are you going to sit around here? And I go, well, yeah, I'll go up there and talk to the noodles up there that sold me the truck. And I go up there. They invited me to the NWTF dinner. I went to the dinner with them. We had a great time at the Turkey Foundation dinner. I didn't win the gun, but we had a great time up there. We bought some raffles and had a great time. So I can always go talk to him. He goes, it's going to be about 2-3 hours. I go, what? He goes, yeah, you have a recall. I go, no, nobody told me about a recall. So he says, yeah, we got a recall. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I need a vehicle. I said, we can hammer out our pot, and we can hang out this talk, and I'll get over there. And Tasker was going to come pick me up, depending on if anybody was there. And I'm like, you know what, I better pay my dues. They take care of me. They invite me to the dinners all the time, Whitetails, the Pheasants Forever. They do a lot. So I got to spend time with them. And I go, no. So he goes, I got a car for you. I got a truck for you. Brings me this brand new Silverado. It's all electric. I tell you what, that thing's at 79. Tasker, this thing's at 79% battery life. And I'm scared. There's no way I'm buying it. It's not a hybrid. This is Chevy makes
fully electric.
Full electric. That's what Chevy does, I guess.
The Silverado EV.
Yeah, no chance. If it's not a hybrid, I couldn't imagine going up north. And I'm nervous. It's 10 minutes away and I'm at 79%. And it says I have 330 miles, so I know I'm okay. But
you called me and you're like, Tasker, run an extension cord out here. I'm worried about it.
So anyway, so that was that story. But so we're getting that taken care of. And just a non, as before we go into our sponsors, a non one. But Ewald Chevrolet here in Oconomowoc has been great for me. They're always good. They do good for the Lake Country Dockhounds. Obviously, my baseball team that I do in the summer. And we're going to make that work. So we were planning on possibly doing, due to the schedule, some of our filming or some of our podcasts will take place at the stadium. So you'll get maybe an overhead look of the stadium. If you've never seen it, you haven't gone to that website. Tasker can bring the drone. We can do a shoot, and then you can go over BP or something like that. We can just show you where we're at. But we'll be moving around. But again, they take great care of me over there with my vehicles. My daughter's got vehicles there. They're really good. The service department's great. And again, a non asked for shout out, but a shout out that's very good. And the Ewald family, all the guys are great. And Brett over here with the Chevy, but all the Ewalds are great guys.
Yeah.
If you've had a bad experience, go in there. They'll rectify it.
Yeah. Speaking of cars, Charisma Customs. You know, it's funny. They were on their cruise last week. They do an annual cruise that he tries to get me to go on every year. And I know what I'm getting into if I were to ever go, so I don't go. Because I know that it's going to be a disaster. But they're back now, and they had so many cars in this week because they kind of shuttled their schedule around. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I mean, it's the time for boats to get in there and, maybe it's jet skis or, ATVs, UTVs, whatever it might be, stereos, ceramic coatings, getting that exterior protected, especially, those things that are on the water that are just getting hammered by UV rays. Having that ceramic coating and the paint protection film on some of those things really helps kind of protect your exterior on that. But if you want a banging system, or if you want lighting, or if you want any of those things, I mean, they're the specialists for that in the area here. And we're happy to have them be a part of it. HHA USA, thank you to a couple of those who have reached out about this opportunity that we have with HHA USA for their upcoming event in April, which, as we touched on, is a perfect week to have that because it's an off week for both of us in the turkey season. Yep. But that any veterans or military, active first responders, police officers, firefighters, whoever that might be, if you're a bow hunter or if you know somebody that's a bow hunter, reach out to us because we have a really cool opportunity to bring you guys along for a trip to a couple different places this summer. Vortex Optics being the first one. And that's the third weekend of April. Shoot me a DM, Wiscobowhunting. Go ahead and just find me on Instagram, and I'll be able to help coordinate some of those details. But we'd love to have you be a part of it. It's kind of the whole crux of why we're working with those guys is because we've got some connections with that community already. But just to kind of dive into that a little bit more and to be able to give back to some of those that have served or that are currently serving, but give you a nice little outlet to be able to shoot your bow. Yeah. And kind of step back from the real world and be able to kind of reset with a fun day and meet some like-minded and people who have gone through some of the same things that you've gone through.
I believe we already have one individual.
We do.
So we have one individual already, and we're going to have him. We're going to reach out and try to get him as a guest, and he can tell you his story. Yeah. This is before we go. And then what we'll do is we can talk to him. Yeah. And we'll find out his experiences, what he does EMT. I think he's currently National Guard. Okay. Spent some time in the military. Find out his story, his hunting background, and how he does it. And then obviously we'll have a follow-up after their visits. But again, please give Tasker a DM, shoot him a message, and we'd love to get as many people or at least a couple people up there on different weekends and enjoy the opportunity because, like you said, it's an incredible time. And we just do our best. Yeah.
And then, I mean, we've been looking at it, so we'll just plug that quick, with Central Standard being a part of the show. We're still really trying to figure that out. So it's all right. We've got the beverages. We've got plenty of beverages. And if we needed more, say we have a big party after we both whack huge turkeys this spring.
Yes.
We'll call in the favor. Yep. We will certainly do that. So,
but I'm looking forward to, and don't forget our monster buck. You touched on it earlier, right? But hopefully we're in the process of getting that. And like we said in the very beginning, they're gonna help us and lead us the right direction. So shout out to Monster Buck.
It'll be fun. I mean, that's one of the projects that I've really wanted to do is just a video project of. It's nice that you're 18 minutes down the road for me instead of 3 hours and 18 minutes down the road.
True that.
That we can shoot a bunch of that different stuff and just to be able to see it kind of, we've got some drone shots from last year of the food plots and kind of a progression of as they were growing, kind of what does it look like? That's when we saw some of the red flags of, we can't grow anything or you can't grow anything around the edges. Right. What's going on? What do we do here? And just trying to figure that out. So it's going to be a fun project for both of us.
That will be, and that'll be good for you because this is so close. You can just run there and just zoom it up, and then that way, depending on what they recommend, I don't know. When you plant the food plot, do you do every week? Right. Do you do every 2 weeks? I'm just going to say it'd be nice to have a little every week. I don't know, 16, let's just say 16 weeks leading up. And if they recommend us planting in the end of July or beginning of August, whatever it is, and then we'll run from there. And then me being gone with baseball, you can always shoot down there, right down the road.
And just shoot a couple overhead shots and do some of that.
Should be nice.
It'll be great. So, all right. go support our sponsors. Make sure that you are following along on our pages. I'm sure we'll post a couple of these clips from this week. And I think a little bit shorter episode. I wish there was a timer on this thing because, it's like, here we are. It's 11 o'clock and
I think they've had
the truck's probably done. So
no,
maybe not. Well, Paul, you're going to need a new engine.
New engine.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry.
All right,
it's covered, but you don't have a vehicle for, 30 days.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, for Paul Wagner, Erik Tasker, another episode of the Flipping Sticks and Throwing Lead podcast. We will talk to you next week.
Perfect. And then you just put the music on right in the beginning and